Hey, what's up guys, Fantasy Monkey here, back with another waiver wire hustle video, and in this episode we're going to give you a few players we think you should target off the waiver wire for week 14. These are going to be a mix of players who should be available in most leagues and have the potential to help your team out. But before I move on, I just want to thank you guys. We recently hit 200 subscribers thanks to you, and we really appreciate the support. And for those of you who watch our videos and aren't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe so you can get the best fantasy content. But anyways, with all this being said, let's hop into the video. Our first waiver wire suggestion is Jake Oettinger of the Dallas Stars. The young goalie has been pretty good this year. In 21 games, he has a 2.22 goals against average and a .91 save percentage, with a 7-5-6 record. The Stars recently announced that Ben Bishop will miss the rest of the season, which means Oettinger will get more starts. He's outplayed Khudobin for the most part, and what makes him an attractive pickup for this week is that Dallas plays 4 times against Detroit. I see Oettinger getting at least 2 starts and maybe 3 depending on what happens. If you're streaming goalies or looking for an option, I suggest you look at Oettinger. He provides some very good value this week. Next up, I suggest you pick up Colin Blackwell from the New York Rangers. The winger has been pretty good as of late. He has 6 points in his last 6 games. For the year though, he has 20 points in 34 games. He's slated on the second line alongside Artemi Panarin, and this makes him a worthy pickup. He averages around 14 minutes of ice time, and the Rangers also play 4 times this week, which is really nice for those of you looking to maximize games during their playoff matchup. He's only 8% rostered, so he's pretty much available to most of you. Go ahead and consider him if you're looking for a winger who's been hot and has a good amount of games for the league. Next up, I recommend adding Casey Mittelstadt of the Buffalo Sabres. Yes, I'm recommending a player from Buffalo. The thing is, he's been pretty good as of late, and it's too hard to ignore. In his last 10 games, he has put up 9 points. Mittelstadt's usage has gone up, and he's had a bigger role here in Buffalo recently. He's centering the second line and is on the first power play unit. He has 4 games this week, and this is one key reason he might be worth adding for some of you. He averages around 15 minutes of ice time a night, and is only 11% rostered in Yahoo leagues, which means he's available to most of you. If he keeps this up, he could provide you with some value this week. But do be aware it is Buffalo and gong shows can happen. So this is for those of you in deeper leagues. Next up, I suggest you look at defenseman Lindell of the Dallas Stars. If you're looking for a defenseman who provides some decent peripherals along with some points potential, Lindell is a prime candidate. He has 12 points this season along with 71 shots, 90 hits, and 78 blocks. So for those of you in leagues that count these stats, there's definitely some value here. What is also nice about Lindell is that he plays against Detroit 4 times this week, so I say you go ahead and take advantage of that. He has solid usage and gets around 23 minutes of ice time a night, while also being on the second power play unit. He's only 25% rostered, so for those of you looking for a D-man, he should be available to you. I suggest you add him for this week as there's potential for some good numbers. Next up, I recommend adding Viktor Arvidsson of the Nashville Predators. Wow, Nashville has gotten their season back on track, and surprisingly Arvidsson has been better. Due to the injuries that Nashville has, they have been relying on him recently, and he's been pretty good. He has 6 points in his last 6 games, while also being on the top line and top power play units. He shoots a ton, and his shooting percentage is too low, but now that Nashville is better, I do see this number going up. He's not the most consistent guy, so do be aware of that. He also averages around 17 minutes of ice time a night, and like I said, with Forsberg being out, he's going to be relied upon, so I say you invest in that for now. He has 3 games this week and is 46% rostered in Yahoo, so if he's available, go ahead and add him. Next, I recommend adding Dubnyk of the Colorado Avalanche. With Philip Grubauer going out with injury, Dubnyk is going to be heavily relied on here. Yes, his numbers are bad, but that's because he was in San Jose. He's now playing on a much better team and should see the majority of starts in Colorado for the next couple of weeks. In his first game with the Avalanche, he stopped 31 of 34 shots en route to a victory. So this shows that there's some potential here with Dubnyk. If you're streaming goalies or trying to temporarily replace Grubauer, Dubnyk is definitely worth a look. He's only 39% rostered, so he's available to most of you. Do be aware that Colorado only has 2 games this week, so he's only worth it as a streamer for now. Next, I suggest adding Nikita Gusev of the Florida Panthers. Florida recently acquired Gusev in a trade, and now that he's on a good team, there's some potential here. He's on the top line and top power play unit, and this alone makes him an intriguing player to add. This is more of a risky pickup, but for those of you in deeper leagues, maybe take a chance on him. Florida plays 4 times this week, which is added value as well. There's some potential here, so at least keep your eyes on him. He's only 6% rostered, so like I said, he's more of a deeper league player to add. And lastly, I recommend adding Matt Zuccarello of the Minnesota Wild. He was on a bit of a cold streak here, but it looks like that's finally over as he's turned things around recently. In his last 2 games, he has 3 goals. He plays on the top line and averages around 16 minutes of ice time a night. He has 25 points in 29 games this season, so it's safe to say he's been solid. Minnesota plays 4 games this week, and this makes Zuccarello a nice option. He's only 22% rostered, so most of you can grab him. If you're looking for a right winger to stream this week, go ahead and take a look at Zuccarello. There's a chance he has a good week. And that's it for this week's episode of Waiver Wire Hustle. Remember to tune into next week's episode, and if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and post your comments down below. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day.